I've got Candice with us today, the Student Recruitment Manager from University of Newcastle's College of International Education. I will hand it over to you, Candice.
Hi everyone. Like Tommy says, my name is Candice. I work for Kaplan International Pathways, and this is my second year in this role. Um, Thank you. So basically, I will try to make it condense as much as I can due to the time. However, if you have any questions, yes, please send me the questions in the box, and then later on, maybe Tommy and I will answer it. Um, so today's session, let's talk a little bit about Kaplan International Pathways. We have four colleges in our portfolios and one direct entrance. It started from this year. So we work with Adelaide University. We have Kaplan International College to get the pathway directly into Adelaide University. Second one is University of Newcastle, which is the University of Newcastle. College International Education. It's the only pathway to get into University of Newcastle. The third one is located in Perth, which is Murdoch University Pathways, is Murdoch College. The fourth one is based in New Zealand, which is Massey University. Massey University's only pathway is also through the Kaplan International Pathways. Very excitingly, we added the Swinburne into our portfolio. So if you guys are interested to get the direct entrance into Swinburne, Kaplan can also arrange that for AIG. So let's focus on the College of International Education today. The photo you can see it's on your right hand side of this slide. This is our college. Um, we pretty much based on campus of based in Newcastle, which is a city next to the Sydney. Let me. This is Newcastle photo. We always use that as an introduction to promote city of Newcastle. I think it's pretty impressive scenery compared with all the Australia. Uh, the living in Newcastle, we are the number one tourism town, and obviously, it's a regional city. For the student who is interested in the PR pathways, the regional city obviously is relatively easier than bigger cities. Um, it's also a safe city compared with Melbourne, Sydney, since it's a small city, so the crime rate is actually really low. Newcastle is like our campus is 20 minutes walk to the beach and 10 minutes by tram. Beaches, weather, safety, coastline lifestyle, and I've personally been to Newcastle. It's actually really beautiful city. It also have airports, therefore it's easy to commute from Newcastle to Sydney or Newcastle to Melbourne. Um, Next slide, and it's let's talk about the university first. Then we can talk about our pathways because we are directly fed into the university. Mm, so this slide is mainly talking about ranking for University of Newcastle. I know top 200 maybe not attracted to certain audience. However, if you're talking about specific subjects, they can be like the 12 subjects ranked on the top 200. However, it's top 50 in the Asia Pacific region, and it is the top 30 in the world for the impact. So for the top region, for the regional area, it's a top regional university, is one of the top regional universities in Australia. Let me have a look. So times higher education impacts, it's a six times higher in the education impact ranking in 2023. Sorry, the data is slightly outdated. Um, the university subject rankings. Basically, those ones on your left-hand side is top 50 in the world. So mining and mineral engineering, nursing, sports science. I do know engineering and nursing is on the top list for international to attract international students. Therefore, Newcastle could be a perfect destination for them because it's a regional area. So it's the top 100 in the world in the sports related subjects, engineering and water resources. Those fields are attracted are in the ranked as top 100. It is also top 150 in the world, for example, like architecture, education, hospitality, like what I mentioned before, because it's top tourism destination in Australia. Therefore, the hospitality and tourism, those kind of major is very popular, also ranked really high in the world. So top 200 in the world, including all of this generic, for example, business and economics, electrical and electronic engineering, linguistic, management, and pharmacy and pharmaceutical, those kind of programs recently become really popular too. It's in the migration list on some of the regions. The student diversity in the Newcastle, this data is from 2024. So it's 34,000 students and over 6,000 of international students, which is make up by 19, almost 20% of the university student population. And they are all from 105 nations. So as you can see on your right-hand side, those countries are listed is the top international students coming from. I'm sure it will attract to your region. So let's say what campuses is included in the University of Newcastle. Basically, University of Newcastle have these three major campuses. The first one is Newcastle, obviously. Then the second one is Central Coast. We do have a Sydney campus as well. It's only for the certain study destinations. So when the student are, if the student specifically targeting to the regional area, I definitely recommend our counselor to look up where is this major based in, because if the student terminated to stay in the regional area and fast track for the residency, Sydney might not be their top priority. So if you can see the drive time between the different locations from Newcastle to Sydney, if you drive a car, that takes 1 hour and 30 minutes. And from Newcastle to Central Coast, that will be Central Coast will be 1 hour away. As you can see on the map, um, Newcastle can be very convenient to Sydney, Gold Coast, Melbourne, and Hobart. So the flight time in between of the locations is all listed below. So the only stop is a bit tricky is Perth, but Perth is generally more remote to different cities. Newcastle Colihan campus. This is the main campus based in Newcastle City. Mm, I don't know if I can open up this virtual tour. I could send you the PowerPoints later. So if you click through, that will lead you to the virtual tour of the campus. So we spent $95 million to build the landmark new space. That's what this picture. New space is this building's name. It's basically based in the Newcastle CBD. Mm. Next one. Central Coast Campus. This is also you can take a virtual tour by clicking on the link over there. I don't know if I can show it from here, but basically we do hold a strong partnerships with local industries. Therefore, the community plus 30 years of the world-class teaching, learning, and research in our region. Let's see. This is Sydney campus. The Sydney campus is very fancy. It's also located in the CBD, like the central of the Sydney. Um, they do share. I believe the whole building has different levels. It's not all levels belongs to the New University of Newcastle. Um, our programs. Let's see. So for University of New, sorry, for the College of International Education, like our college, we this is our the products listed on the it's including foundation study in medicine, express preparation course, degree transfer program, and pre-master programs. So there are five different products. It's suitable for different students' needs. Um, I will extend it later on. However, I do want to emphasize about our foundation study in medicine. It does attract to a lot of international students. Our entry requirements relatively lower than the if the student wants to get into medicine directly. The really good selling point is the student does not have to sit UCAT. So there's the selection once the student get into the foundation study in medicine, they will have one less exam to sit. The selection is being mainly based on their academic results in the foundation studies in medicine and also interview score. So throughout the whole foundation studies, we will train them to become an medicine students. 2026. So for the entrance into 2027 in the foundation studies in medicine, um, last update was 17 spots is gone out of 30. Therefore, if you have any students interested in medicine, please submit application as soon as you can because it does fill out really quickly. Thinking about it, it's only end of January in 2026 now, and half of the seats already gone. um, Foundation study program, which is the duration can include 8 or 12 months bridging program in consisting of the 8 courses. So we have 3 different intakes, um, February, June, October. October is not available for health science related degrees. It's just not linked with those bachelor degrees seamlessly. Therefore, we don't run our health science degrees to package with in October intake. However, our other intake is actually we do have other intake to get into the university from February and June. The tuition fee at the moment is 28 grand, and at the moment we do have 15% of scholarship. Um, Enter in one of the over 130 different bachelor options across the 3 different campuses. You can find it on our website what is included in that 130 different bachelor degrees. Offers can be packaged with both COE provided in one offer letter. Therefore, that's going to save the counselors a lot of time to submit the visa twice. So for the foundation studies, if the student, if you are new as a counselor, foundation is pretty much equivalent to year 12 in high school. So basically, our cohort to get into the foundation studies, you have to think about the high school year 11 graduates. So if the student graduated from year 11, they could get into the foundation studies and then enter into the year 1 into University of Newcastle. So if you think about the foundation is comparable to the year 12 in their home country. Foundation progression requirements. These are some examples to get into the bachelor's. So there are some popular bachelors I have listed, for example, business, civil engineer, education. So those ones, occupational therapies. So as you can see, with the the OT, PT, and psychological science, those ones require higher score. Um, and then the overall average score to get into our bachelor degrees. These are the just overall average score I've listed on the right hand side corner. Foundation studies in medicine, which normally I will use, if you text me, normally I will say FSM, so it's just a short way to mention about it. Um, I do have passion to promote our foundation studies in medicine. It's just such a good program. Um, Same, we have 8 or 12 months bridging programs consisting of 8 courses. Basically, we do suggest the student to get into the February intake, which is 12 months of the bridging program. The 8 months Technically speaking, they are available because it's a quota-based program. If the quota has been completely full and no one dropped out during the first semester, we might not have any seats to get into the July intake. Just keep that one in mind. Uh, June or July intake. So the tuition fee is 35 grand. The quota has been increased to 30 in 2027. Um, this cohort is a student aiming to enter into the Bachelor of Medical Science and Doctor of Medicine. They have different multiple skills assessment held in October while the student studying foundation studying medicine. And this is a case selling point. It's no UCAT required. I personally don't really know any other programs can be exempt for UCAT. So this is actually really the high advantage to get into our foundation studies in medicine. So same of it's direct package, not and also not many medicine students can be packaged directly into the university. Um, so the progression score has to be over 90, and the student has to pass the multiple skill assessments. So basically, it's an interview. If you guys know about medicine program in Australia, normally they assess student on three different skills. One is your academic score, another one is UCAT test, and then it's interview score. So for students graduate from our foundation studies, they only need two different assessments. um, the good news is that our student experience manager, Maggie, has done a fantastic job to prepare students as much as possible for the interview. Therefore, our progression rates is actually pretty high. I don't remember the exact number, but I do have a stats I could share with you after this. Another fantastic programs you could thinking of is express preparation course. So this is pretty much a short course around 4 months for the students. It's a bridging program. I will give you some students profile. For example, if the students graduate from Malaysia year 12 and they wish to get into what's the most popular programs at moment? Aviation. If they want to get into the Bachelor of Aviation, but their academic score is not high enough, therefore they can get into February intake into bridging programs, and then they could start from Bachelor of Aviation in July. Um, Intakes include February and October. As you can see, these two times, normally after 4 months of the short bridging course, they can get into the February university's intake or July university's intake. Because it's a short course, therefore the tuition fee is relatively cheaper. It's only 15 grand. It also can be packaged with 130 different bachelor options. Just after one trimester. Also, it's direct package, so both COEs will be provided after one offer. So if you think about the EPP journey, which express preparation course, um, a student graduated from high school, it's equivalent to year 12 in Australia. They could not achieve for Bachelor of Engineering courses score. They could get into this EPP program and then directly get into the year one into University of Newcastle. Degree transfer program. Degree transfer program for it does confuse some of the counselors because our counselors are generally more familiar with diplomas. So our degree transfer program is pretty much similar with a diploma. It's equivalent to year one in the university. Um, so 8 year 1 bachelor courses plus two academic English courses. This is the course structure set up for our degree transfer program. The total duration of the degree transfer program is standard. This is the standard degree transfer program is 12 months. We also have three different intakes. However, October intakes is only for degree transfer in business and commerce. So the tuition fee will be 33 to 37 grants and will include 20% of the scholarship. So available in the following study area, it's including design, construction management. This is also become really popular. As you know, housing crisis is really bad in Australia at the moment. We are trying to build as much as living residency properties. Therefore, construction management is become the hottest topic. Engineering, we only available in 11 engineering disciplines. Please do check with me if the student have the specific engineering program want to package with. I will let you know if it's available to be packaged with degree transfer or not. Media and communication gets more popular as well, um, since COVID, because of the we all work from home. So this degrees, I can say there's the increased trend for the student to come over to study in Australia. Degree transfer, and we do have degree transfer extended. So the previous one is a standard duration, which is 12 months. The difference between degree transfer standard and degree transfer extended is degree transfer extended has actual 4 months of the bridging course, which is a year and 4 months total length. Um, if you're looking at the student profile, the main difference is academic performance. So if the student wants to get into the Bachelor of Engineering, um, say for example, the ATA is 80 for the standard Bachelor of Engineering, and for degree transfers probably it's 60, and for degree transfers extended maybe for this cohort from 55 to 60. So that's why they have actual 4 months of the bridging course to complete. So the total duration will be 16 months. The intakes will be two intakes, March and October. It also has 20% of the scholarship. It has lower academic and English entry requirements. So after they complete degree transfer extended components, that will be year two. Then the student enter into the year two of the University of Newcastle. Pre-master program. This program is designed for a student does not meet direct entry into our master program into University of Newcastle. So the standard duration for pre-master program is 8 months. So it's a two trimester programs. We also have accelerated duration. Accelerated duration will be 4 months. It's only one trimester. Again, the difference between the standard and accelerated is only just based on the student academic performance. Intakes include January, May, and August. Depends on the duration of the student is taking. You can say the fees are vary. Scholarship will be from 20%, 15% to 20%. We have 15 different master's options can be packaged with our pre-master program. We do so that's not exactly correct. Undergraduate qualifications then get into the pre-master program. The good news is if some of the masters does take the work experience to get into the pre-master, so it's case by case and depend on the work experience, etc., etc. So if the students did not complete any undergraduate qualification or only had half of the undergraduate qualification completed, you could check with me package combine with their work experience that might be able to let them to get into the pre-master program and exit with a master qualification. So those are the listed master destinations from pre-master program get into the master program. So as you can see, master professional accounting, applied finance, business administration. So we also listed the campus is on in the bracket. Health economics, management and policy. This one actually gets popular. Health economics and management. Then another good a good programs I would recommend is Master of Health Economics Management and Policy with a Master of Business Administration. So in 2 years' time, you can complete a double masters. So I reckon they can take some credit from each other, shorten the study periods, and then you graduate with two qualification. Um, yeah, we also have the Master of International Information Technologies. So the management information systems these days is also very business analytics is also become very popular for the certain markets. We do provide the career ready for our graduates. Our college director and advisors use a huge amount of time to build these programs to help the student to find a job, part-time job in while they were studying as our college students. So our medium start salary graduate diploma is higher than the average graduate's salaries. So basic the postgraduate medium studies, and I reckon this one probably is in 2024 figure, so it's actually higher than 66 grand. Eight, 89.8% of our undergraduate find employment within 4 months of the graduating time. So the data is actually quite impressive because I remember when I came to Australia, it takes me 2 years to find my first casual job. It's mainly those career-ready graduate programs that help the student with their interview skills, with their resume building, which is very important when you're trying to find a job in a foreign country. Um, we talk about the living expense in Newcastle. So, how much more expensive are capital cities compared with Newcastle? The good news is that the Newcastle is more affordable when compared to, for example, Sydney or Melbourne or Brisbane. This is the main big three cities. Because it's so close to Sydney, it's only 1.5 hours drive away. It's 72% cheaper than Sydney and 28% cheaper than Melbourne, 20% cheaper than Brisbane. So if the student actually study in Newcastle, they can go to Sydney to spend the weekends if they wish, because it's so close, and they also can catch the train to city. But the living expense is way cheaper to live in Newcastle. Um, Another good thing about the Newcastle location is Bachelor of Nursing become really popular for the University of Newcastle graduates. The reason is because it's a small regional city, it's easier for for the for nurse students to find their practical areas, and there will be some hospital available around for them to find what was that internship? Yes, to find the internship while they were studying. Um, Undergrad. This is the English requirements for our undergraduates. Basically, you can say foundation studies in medicine is generally higher. However, if you compare with the student directly getting to the medicine programs, it's actually way lower, and you don't need to sit another English exam if you progress into the Bachelor of Medical Studies and Master of Medicine. The only reason is that if the student is not fluent in talking, they won't be able to pass their interview assessments. So they don't really need to sit another English test, which is good news for them. The EPP is also relatively higher, but if you're thinking about this, foundation studying medicines is pretty much similar of the English language requirements for EPP. As long as the student has a very strong academic performance, yeah, it's very easy to get into the foundation studies in medicine. As long as the student is very hardworking during the foundation studies, our progression rate is very high to get into the medicine program. Um, Another good thing I would like to promote is KTE. So we do have this internal English test. For example, if you students mainly based in Malaysia, once they obtain a conditional offer from us, if the student does not want to sit PTE or else, you could reach out to us. We can issue an internal test. Then the students can we can based on their KTE score to issue them unconditional offer. Um, The only restricted area is mainland China. We won't be able to send the KTE to mainland China residents. Just want to let you know about that one. These are some um, academic score requirements. So if the student, so for example, for foundation studies, international, the student just need to completion of year one, the IB or O level with D grade average. Let's look at the foundation studies in medicine. So IB average with 24 points over the six subjects. That's actually not very high, and O levels with an A average across five academic subjects, or A levels with a B average score across three academic subjects. So if you have any student like fitting into those profile and interested in the medicine, this is definitely a good program to promote about. Um, See, this is what I mean about degree, the difference between degree transfer standard and degree transfer extended. So the extended degree transfer extended is generally lower. The academic score is 3 points lower. Um, and A level, AS levels, they all generally lower. If you want to say a specific country entry requirements, you could click on this link on the bottom. It will list it all the countries, most of the countries. But if there's a student come from the countries not listed in this website, please do reach out to me. I can talk to the internal assessor and get it sorted for you. This is a postgraduate entry requirements. So basically for pre-master programs and pre-master accelerated programs, the entry requirements is pretty much to same with our EPP and foundation study in medicine program. So it's six overall, not less than 5.5. It's also equivalent to KTE, PTE, IBT, TOEFL, etc., etc. Academically wise, we do like have the standard academic pre-masters and accelerated. The accelerated have been listed in this website, and the pre-master program is 2 years diploma plus 1 year of equivalence organizational experience or 3 years undergraduate qualification. So basically, for these students graduated from a 3 year undergraduate qualification but not have amazing score, then they could consider to get into the pre-masters scholarship. Pretty much up to 30% of the tuition fee, but it varies, depends on the backgrounds, depends on their grades and nationality. I do have a newly updated 2026 flyers. If you guys interested, I can send it to you and you can distribute on your market and show on your students. We do have the newly designed scholarship flyer. So this is we do not use this application form anymore. For AIG, you can just apply from CapLink. All of the submissions should be online now. Mm, if you have any troubles to submit the application, please do reach out to me. Let me see if there's anything I can troubleshoot about. So that's pretty much all about my PowerPoints. Um, thank you for you all. And do you have any questions for me?
All right, awesome. Thank you so much, Candice, for the presentations and very detailed information, to be honest. Yeah, so I think to the attendees, this is the time for you to ask any questions if you have any. Again, please feel free to drop in your questions in the Q&A box, literally right below on your screens. And in the meantime, maybe I will just also check on the other platform because we also have questions coming from the other platforms.
Okay.
Candice, just let me
I
check as
couldn't
well.
see any questions on my end. So if you have any questions, do you
Yeah,
mind
yeah,
reading
definitely.
out
I'll
for
read
me?
out the questions for you.
Yeah.
Okay, we actually got one applications coming in. So, sorry, questions. I mean, not applications. Can we apply for the medicines pathway?
Yes, of course. Like I mentioned, do you have any specific questions about that medicine pathways? Because you do hold the contract with us, so that includes for the foundation in medicine. Do you have any specific questions about the student's profile or how to submit applications?
Yeah, I think to the attendees that asked the questions earlier, if you can share with us a little bit information like, in specific, like, to what extent, then it would be great for Candice to give you a detailed answer. And
Uh,
I,
yes,
yeah.
please. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually got some other questions coming in from other platform. So I'm just gonna read out for you, in this. So, what are the key requirements to progress into medicine program from the pathway? So I assume it's the medicines in undergraduate level.
Yes, it is from the undergraduate level because you can say it's a Bachelor of Medical Science and Doctor of Medicine. If you're talking about from foundation study in medicine to progress into Bachelor of Medical Science and Doctor of Medicine, basically it's a very academic intense program. I know it sounds like a foundation studies, but because it's called foundation study in medicine, so the student who study in this foundation studies, they are all the courses designs is to sending you to become medicine students. The course is very intense. Um, Only the key factor to decide if you can successful progress in or not, which is you academic score. It's you have to pass 90 out of 100 of the like the basic paper what you studying in the foundation study in medicine in FSM and the interview. However, you don't have to worry too much about the interview because in your program, we have designated academics to practice for you. And those people who helped you with the interviews, they are from University of Newcastle. Therefore, you will have the first-hand tutorial from the right person to train you, put in that way. If you're talking about the Bachelor of Medical Science to get into Doctor of Medicine, it's a package. So therefore, unless you didn't fail, so it should be very smooth. Yeah.
Right. Awesome. Another question is that would there be like interview for the students?
Interview for the students for which program?
I
For
believe it's
foundation
for the
in.
Yeah, I believe it's for the medicine program. I think to be more precise, it's like if there is any interview for the student for the medicine program, and if there is any, do there any kind of guidelines for the students, how to attend the interview and all?
So to get into foundation study in medicine, you don't need to sit the interview. The only interview happens is after you you become a student in foundation study in medicine to progress into Bachelor of Medical Sciences. Yeah, which we will train you for. Don't worry about this. Yeah.
Right, awesome. Well, I think everyone is very interested in foundation study in medicines. So I have another one as well.
Yes.
Says the student completed foundation studies in medicines, but decided not to progress into medicines program. Is that possible?
Yes. So say if you get into the foundation study in medicine and you decided to not go ahead with Bachelor of Medical Sciences, then you can talk to the college director, say if there's anything you can package with other bachelor programs later on.
Right. So do they need to like inform the lecturers a semester before or a month before?
Well, we will transit you. So basically, most likely those students did not progress into after the academic and after the interview, they did not progress successfully into the medical science and doctor of medicine. Then we will find a pathway to get them to, for example, OT, PT, pharmacy, those kind of programs. Um, but normally it's not academic. They should talk to yeah, our staff, professional staff member.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Right.
did find
And another
some data,
questions.
yeah,
Yeah. I'm
for
sorry to cut you off. Are
foundation.
you saying
Yeah.
something?
Yeah, sorry. I did find some interesting data about foundation study in medicine. Sorry, I was giving the presentation. I couldn't look both ways. So basically, the actual commence number, the progression rate is 72 into the average last 5 years to progress from foundation study in medicine is from 2022 to 2026 is average 72%. So it's actually pretty high. Yeah.
Right.
Sorry. Keep
Okay.
going.
Then the next questions. Can students with weaker academic backgrounds still be considered? I think generally in foundation studies.
Foundation studies. So generally, if you're talking about foundation studies, that's what we're supposed to train you for. You should understand if you can successfully secure unconditional offer, you should meet our entry requirements. Then, as long as you keep studying, keep attending your tutorials and lectures, if you have any, so I personally found for the student who is struggling in the foundation studies is people who generally shy. If they had trouble, they don't talk to their lecturers, they don't talk to their teachers. So if you keep the communication open, I'm sure all the teachers would willing to help you. So be more proactive. Surely you will become succeed. Yeah.
Right. And another question is that how is the class size like
Uh,
for, like all the
it's
programs? Yeah.
around 20. It's around 20 students. Yeah, it's
Okay.
around 20
Right.
students. I reckon it's a lower number for foundation study in medicine. Yeah,
Right. Okay. I still have last couple more questions.
go
So
for it.
the next one, how many days of classes in a week?
Um, this can be vary. So, for example, if you study foundation study, um, it depends on the course you pick as well. And for diploma, degree transfers, for degree transfer program, degree transfer in business is also different with degree transfer in IT. Therefore, it is generally speaking, we do say it's 20 hours contact hours per week. But how many days, it really depends on how you arrange your class. And you don't pick the class for yourself. Normally, we do the timetabling for you, but also depend on destination programs. Therefore, it can be vary.
All right. Okay. Then I got last two questions. So the last two is actually how's the job opportunities like in Newcastle?
Well, it's basically, if you completed the program, for example, I did mention about this Bachelor of Nursing. For those one, if you want to find a nursing home in Newcastle, it's relatively easier. But for example, if you studied a space engineer in Newcastle, probably it's relatively harder for you to find a job in just in Newcastle, but relatively more job opportunities will be in Sydney, which is not too far away. It really depends on what are you studying. Yeah.
Right. Okay. And the last questions sorry, let me see. Okay. Are there any age restrictions or study gap concerns for the pathway applicants?
Um, I won't be able to directly answer that. However, when you apply um, for example, foundation studies or degree transfer programs, we do assess the risk level. Depends on which country you are from, what nationality you are, and we do a genuine student check as well. If you can explain why the gap was exist, that might be give you a better chance than you had a study gap but no working history, etc., etc. So, or you were traveling, or as long as you can explain it well, and also I think another hurdle will be visa as well. So even sometimes you secure the full offer from the university's perspective, it doesn't guarantee your visa will be granted. So the Department of Home Affairs also will have to look at on another lens. Therefore, I won't be able to give you a yes and no direct answer for that one.
Right, fair enough, fair enough. I think that's for all the questions actually for today. In the meantime, by the way, I actually have one question coming from myself,
Yeah.
just curiosity. So how, like, because you mentioned like from Newcastle to Sydney, it can be reached by train, isn't it? So I'm just wondering how much is the cost, like like the train. Do you know?
I need to Google that. Well, last time
Oh,
when I
okay.
went to Newcastle, well, I think it was our leader arranged all the ticket. So all I did was just put the ticket into the machine. I did
Right.
not buy that ticket, unfortunately. But
Yeah, no worries.
I will send you the answer for that one.
Yeah, that'll be good. No, no worries. It's
Yeah,
just, out of curiosity because,
it shouldn't be too
awesome. I
bad.
think,
It shouldn't be too bad. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I will send
Right.
it to you
Okay.
after this.
Yeah, I don't see any other questions coming in as well. So I think that's pretty much all the questions everyone have. But anyway, if you cannot think of any questions or any further question, that's fine. So after the session, if you still wanted to know more about about us, about the programs, about anything at all, please feel free to reach out to your respective counselor or your business development managers. They will be able to connect to you to the right persons. So I think that should be everything for the sessions today. And then before ending the sessions, I just wanted to let everyone know, the attendees, that the sessions will be uploaded into our YouTube page. So please feel free to give us a follow, and then you can refer back to the sessions from today. And of course, last but not least, I thank you so much for your time, Candice, today.
No worries
It
at
was,
all.
such a lovely presentation coming from you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Really appreciate that.